On Friday the 13th, 1307, King Philip IV of France woke up early. He had an important day planned. In just hours, he would orchestrate one of history's most coordinated military operations: the simultaneous arrest of almost every Knight Templar in his kingdom. For years, he'd been preparing for this moment, gathering intelligence, forging alliances, and amassing a small fortune. But here's what really haunts historians to this very day. The night before this massive raid, something extraordinary happened. According to multiple chroniclers, including Guillaume de Angus, a procession of carts left the Templars' Paris stronghold under cover of darkness, escorted by hooded figures who vanished into the countryside. What were they carrying? Well, over the previous 2 centuries, the Templars had amassed unimaginable wealth. Not just gold and silver, but sacred relics, ancient manuscripts, and what some called the greatest treasure of Christendom. Yet, when Philip's men stormed Templar properties across France, they found surprisingly little of this legendary fortune. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're answering the extraordinary question: what did the Templars really protect? And where did it go? When King Philip IV of France woke up on October 13, 1307, he knew this would be a day like no other. For years, he'd been planning this moment, playing a dangerous game of diplomacy and deceit to isolate the Templars, the fierce holy order founded in 1118 to protect pilgrims on their way to the Holy Land. But over the centuries, the once noble mission of these warrior monks had become horribly corrupted. They'd grown fat on land and riches. And now, rumors spread that they planned to seize French soil in a massive rebellion against the crown. Not to mention, the Templars controlled much of the kingdom's trade due to their many tolls, which was threatening Philip's war chest as he tried to raise an army to conquer England. Thus, the king decided he needed to take drastic action. He wrote to Pope Clement V, claiming that the Templars had committed grave sins, including murder, heresy, and sodomy. And under the Pope's authority, he arrested them all. That Friday, in 1307, as dawn broke, armed royal soldiers descended upon Templar building after Templar building across France, sealing their fate. The shock was palpable. By nightfall, nearly every Templar knight in the kingdom was behind bars. At their headquarters in Paris, the situation was particularly dramatic. As the king's men closed in, a procession of carts left the besieged compound under cover of darkness, escorted by hooded figures who disappeared into the countryside. What were they carrying? Well, that's the extraordinary mystery at the heart of this story. You see, over the previous 2 centuries, the Templars had amassed an unimaginable fortune, so vast it became known simply as the treasure of the Templars. But what exactly constituted this legendary haul? How much of it existed at all? Or was it just a myth? Well, according to Roger de Wendover, an English chronicler writing around 1230, the Templars possessed a priceless jewel called the Hand of the Lord, which some believed could work miracles. They also guarded a vial of Christ's blood, which supposedly turned green when danger approached. Then there was the Spear of Destiny, the very weapon that pierced Jesus' side as he hung on the cross, as well as the crown of thorns that had once encircled his head. Legend claimed that both relics were brought to Britain during the 11th century by none other than Joseph of Arimathea, the man who had prepared Jesus' body for burial. These artifacts then passed to the Templars, along with countless other treasures pilfered from enemy castles and ransomed from Muslim hands. There were ancient manuscripts, priceless tapestries, golden chalices said to have been used by Jesus himself, and even the Ark of the Covenant, the very vessel that held the 10 Commandments. One writer claimed the Templars possessed such a great quantity of gold and silver that if it were placed end to end, it would form a wall around the entire city of Jerusalem. Yet, the staggering scale of the Templar treasure has left historians deeply divided. Many believe the legend is a myth, pointing out that no contemporary chronicler gives any indication of such a vast fortune. However, this argument is challenged by those who contend that chroniclers like Matthew Paris, whose works are our primary sources for this period, deliberately downplayed the Templars' wealth to avoid attempting rival monarchs, or b. provoking the ire of the papacy, which strictly forbade the accumulation of riches. Whatever the truth, though, when King Philip IV ordered the seizure of all Templar property in 1307, his agents found shockingly little treasure. The official records, preserved in the Vatican secret archives, detail the confessions extracted from Templars under torture, but they're strangely silent about any recovered treasure. Historian Paul Murray Kendall writes that only 3 caskets containing a few precious stones and some money were ever found. Given the scale of the Templar treasure, this seems highly unlikely. So either the haul was significantly smaller than legend suggests, or it was expertly concealed. In recent decades, new evidence has come to light that challenges everything we thought we knew about the fall of the Templars. For example, maritime records from La Rochelle show that in the weeks following their arrest, 18 Templar ships departed French ports, their destinations unknown. This detail alone adds a whole new layer of complexity to the story, suggesting that some Templars managed to escape with vital documents and perhaps even some of the legendary treasure. Historians have traced some of these vessels to Scotland, others to the New World, and a few to hidden monasteries in the Pyrenees. Could it be that the treasure was spirited away, piece by piece, hidden in plain sight? Well, that's certainly possible. But here's another compelling theory. In 2001, the Chinon parchments were discovered in the French town of Chinon, shedding new light on the fate of the Templars. These secret papal documents reveal that Pope Clement V secretly absolved the Templars of heresy charges, suggesting their persecution was purely political. But he kept this information under wraps. Why? Well, perhaps he hoped to use the Templars' wealth to fund a new crusade. After all, he reinstated the order, stripped it of its French holdings, and gave it new leadership. But the treasure was gone. In fact, he offered a noble knight who delivered a large sum of money, a noble title, and lands. Perhaps he knew full well where the Templars stashed their fortune, but he never revealed it. Or maybe the treasure didn't exist. Intriguingly, the archaeological record seems to support the latter theory. Excavations at Templar sites like Temple Brewer in Normandy have uncovered mysterious underground chambers with strange symbols carved into the walls. But so far, none of these markings have been deciphered and no treasure has been found. What we do know, however, is that the Templars were master builders. They constructed over 9,000 buildings across Europe, many of which remain standing today, including the magnificent Temple Church in London. And what's fascinating is that many of these buildings contain strange details that have baffled historians, such as oddly shaped windows that seem to align with significant astronomical events. Then there are the 2-headed pillars, gargoyles with unblinking eyes, and strange symbols carved everywhere, some depicting esoteric geometry while others appear to be coded messages. So here's a thought. What if the treasure wasn't material at all? What if instead the Templars were protecting sacred knowledge, secret texts containing profound truths about the universe itself? Over the past decade, scholars have made some incredible discoveries in this area. For example, there's the Voynich manuscript, a mysterious illustrated book written in an unknown script that may hold the key to unlocking the secrets of the universe. And let's not forget the enigmatic Templar tombs, many of which have only recently been opened. Inside these tombs, researchers have found strange geometric patterns, mysterious symbols, and even a mummified hand that may help us understand the Templars' beliefs and practices. But perhaps the greatest irony of all is that despite the treasure's legendary status, it may have been there all along in plain sight. You see, after the Templars were disbanded, their headquarters in Paris remained in use, housing royal officials until the 16th century. What's fascinating is that several writers from this period make casual references to the great treasure of the Templars, as if its existence were common knowledge. Did they know something we don't? Was the treasure never taken in the first place? Ultimately, the truth about what the Templars really protected and where it went remains one of history's most tantalizing unsolved mysteries. Their story raises more questions than it does answers, leaving us to wonder about their strange beliefs, their bizarre rituals, and their secret knowledge. While the legendary treasure may never be found, the Templars' legacy lives on in their remarkable architecture and enduring myths. Thank you for watching. Which theory do you find most convincing? And what do you think the Templars were really protecting? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And be sure to subscribe for more thrilling historical tales.